Welcome to LeapGround, the YouTube channel dedicated to entrepreneurs and freelancers who are also members of the Person with Disabilities community. Welcome! So this week's video is a follow-up to the previously released video with Yanela, who had just started at this point her job at the bakery. We got to flip the tables on this video and got to interview Kathy, Yanela's boss, as the bakery. I am really excited because I got to ask the questions of Kathy from the other perspective. I got to ask her the questions all about how it was to hire Yanela and how the business was going with Yanela in it.
And Miss Kathy, I'm going to touch on something a little bit more sensitive. A lot of business owners have hesitations in hiring people who are on the disability gamut, who are considered people with disabilities.
Right.
What made you leap over that?
Well, first of all, Yanela came to me. She sent me her resume. Her resume had other work that was related to working in a bakery. She really loves baking, and she was applying for a position of being my assistant. Her resume, she really worked on it, and she followed up, called me. She was very professional about setting up an interview, and she came dressed very nicely, and she had a list of questions prepared for herself, so she would get all the information she needed. And I thought, wow, if she can put that much time and effort into her resume, then she'd be perfect at doing this kind of task-oriented work. She started off doing many things that a person with much more experience, would have under their belt. So she paid attention. And after the first week or so, she could act independently on a lot of things. So that gave me a lot of hope for her. And I could see what a contribution she was making. So that worked out both ways. Seriously, I treated her just like every other employee. And I had high expectations. And she's met those expectations, and she's gone beyond. She's taken notes. She's made sure every day that she asks for what she could do better the next day.
To be able to speak to Kathy and ask her about the impacts that Yanela had on her bakery since she was hired. So the reason I wanted to go down this tunnel of questioning was, from my understanding, a lot of entrepreneurs are a little bit hesitant about hiring people with disabilities because they're afraid that the person will not integrate well with the other folks in their businesses. It would be really hard to be able to train them.
Well, the main thing that comes to mind right away is that every day when she comes in, she's very upbeat. She greets all the other employees. She's very happy to be here. And she always says, I'm so happy to be working with you today. And it just uplifts the mood in the entire bakery. So I think she really makes a huge contribution in that way. She's always very willing, saying, what can I do to learn something new today? It's been a win-win situation for both of us. Right now we work together, but I can see at some point that she'll be able to work independently from me. And already when I'm not here, because I can't be here all the time, she knows the tasks that she can do on her own. And she does them unprompted.
Absolutely. And when you really look at it, that saves you time, that saves you mental space, and that saves you energy. So
Right.
That also impacts your bottom line when you look at it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's what I think she makes a contribution all the way around.
So the next question is one that a lot of entrepreneurs or business people and even hiring managers are a little bit afraid about. It's all about performance management. So I asked Kathy, how did she manage and track Yanela's performance?
Well, already we're making goals And how I've judged her performance so far is if she's remembering, if she's acting independently from me. And there's a lot of times when she checks in to make sure that she's doing the right thing. So right now we're working on, I think you know. So trying to build her confidence by having her go back and try it on her own. And then if she still needs help, I'll come be there. But then when she does it by herself at the end of the day, she's like, that's a big win for her. That she's like, yeah, I did that by myself today. And I'm like, it's all you got to do. So I think the skills that she really has put a lot of effort in, and she's absorbed those, and she's putting them to use in all parts of her life too, you know, not just her job, but she really loves her job.
The next question cuts to the heart of the matter. I asked Kathy if she had any advice for other business owners who are considering or are hesitant or are scared about hiring a person or persons with disabilities. I definitely wanted to ask this because I know that there are people out there who are on the fence and just want to know, what does the world look like when you hire someone who has a disability?
Well, I think number one, you know, it takes a good fit. And Yonella really likes her job. And it's a good fit for me. In other situations, it might be a totally different scenario, but to try is the main thing, the first thing, because she surprises me and she gives as much as she gets. I really have to say, she contributes to the bakery a lot. So I think if you were to hire anybody that's on the spectrum, it still has to be a good fit. And the things that you have to give to that employee might take a little bit more patience and a little bit more time, but the results are going to be there at the end. And I think they probably have a longevity with that business more so than other people because they get comfortable in the space and with the people, and that helps them too. You know, that they're not having to meet a whole group of people over and over again. So I think if you have the space to do it and the capability to do it, it's well worth the attempt to try and do it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Kathy. Would you like to tell people how to contact you and your bakery for any special orders for cakes, cupcakes, wedding cakes, anniversary cakes, birthday cakes?
That's right. We do it all. You can find us at 629 South B Street in San Mateo, right across from Kelly Moore. Still, our Instagram is our name, Kathy's Creative Cakes.
Wonderful. And I'll definitely put your links below on the description to this video as well.
Thanks, Kat. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Ms. Kathy. Thank you for taking the time and sharing your awesome bakery with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
I am humbled and enthused and excited that I was able to interview both Kathy, who owns her own bakery, and Yonella, one of her employees, because we got to see the two perspectives of this relationship. This is a call out to anyone there who really is considering hiring a person with a disability. There are wins. You might be hesitating right now, but if you listen to the story on both sides, you will see the intrinsic value of hiring someone like Yonella. Why don't you take a chance? I hope you guys learned something from today's video and the previous videos. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.